dicks.
Ooh, we got a big show for you. I'm Cooper.
I'm Scott.
Did you just? Ooh, I'm Tanner.
Before we keep going, let me fix this before it gets too serious.
God damn, y'all sound bad.
Just a little unprofessional to start off in the early going, but I had to fix the issue at hand before we got too serious.
Technical issues.
Tanner, are you there?
I already said my name, and then I'm here.
Can you hear Gabe? Yes,
I mean, I can hear all of you. You just sound like the Transformers.
Are you Ladies Man 217?
No, I'm Lady Man's 517.
Where's the Allspark?
Speaking of numbers, let's get into the top 4 for college football.
Also known as the playoffs.
College football playoffs.
And that is, who wants to start us off? Who wants to start with number?
We'll start with number 4. I mean, do you guys want to just make universal picks?
No, we
Or
just
say our 4? All right. I'll go last. So, one of you guys go first. Scott, you want to go first?
I'll go first. Number 4, Oklahoma State Cowboys.
Okay.
Are we going like that?
No, just say all 4.
Oh, say all 4.
All 4.
Okay, number 4, Oklahoma State. Number 3, Ohio State. Number 2, USC. And number 1,
I'm not
Alabama.
going to rank mine. I'm just going to say the 4 because I don't feel like ranking them.
Okay.
I don't know how their seasons are going to
Cooper?
really fit. Well, I got USC. I got Penn State. I got Alabama, of course. And I think I'm going to go Florida State here. Good young team.
Okay.
It's a little overrated, but they could probably do it in the ACC.
So, Tanner's going to skip this. I think it's interesting that, Scott, you left out the ACC.
Yeah.
And Cooper, you left out the Big 12. Now, the Big 12 will have a championship next year.
No, I left out the Big 12 because they're not as good as the favorite conference in the Big Power 5.
That's a fair point. Okay. For my 4, I'm going to go with Oklahoma State, Ohio State, Florida State, and Auburn.
Auburn.
Auburn is a shock, but it's not wrong.
I don't know. I have a feeling that Alabama's going to be dethroned in the SEC this year, either by LSU or by Auburn. And being an LSU fan, I'm still not fully confident in that team, so I'm going to go with Auburn.
So you're going to put your full confidence in Jarrett?
Yeah, I'm going to put my full confidence in Jarrett Stidham, who's a very good quarterback.
Like Jared Studham, am I right?
Alrighty.
Yeah,
And with that, we're moving on.
I guess. Sure you don't want to throw down a random 4 teams, Tanner?
No.
I can predict yours for you. Akron,
No.
Texas, UAB, and Texas State.
You'd be wrong. UTSA is number 4.
My boy Frank Wilson out there doing work in San Antonio.
Oh,
Hey, no,
you
UTSA.
I'm actually I'm on site at the University of Texas, San Antonio right now, so feel free to come by my dorm room and say what's up. We got some ramen, cold water, can of dip, and some off-brand frosted flakes.
Hey, UTSA ain't getting through La Tech this year. La Tech's going to be number 4. Go watch.
Number 4 as a number 4.
My college can't lose, guys. Just throwing that out there. My college cannot lose.
I can't lose either.
I'm looking out for those Lone Star Coyotes, Cooper. They're on that come up. I mean, they don't even have a team, so they technically can't lose. Not even Bama can beat them. That's how good they are.
Fair point. Moving on. Let's move. Every quarterback at one point played in college football, and now we're gonna look over the tier that ESPN sadly put out.
That was a shitty segue, just like real segues, but nice try. Let's do this.
I want to segue.
Disclaimer. This list is awful.
All right, so let's start
Absolute
in
trash.
tier 4. So let's all.
I think we should just go through it first, and then say what's wrong with it.
Do we want?
Well, let's talk about each tier individually. We'll say who's on there, and then we'll say our problems. Do you guys want to start at the top or do you want to start at the bottom?
Bottom.
Bottom.
Bottom? Okay.
I'm more of a bottom guy myself, Gabe.
Tier 4, we got Trevor Siemian, Mike Glennon, Colin Kaepernick, Blake Bortles, Paxton Lynch, Brian Hoyer, Jared Goff, Tom Savage, Josh McCown, Brock Osweiler, Cody Kessler, in that order.
There's a few things wrong with that.
From best to worst. That's what that is.
Yep. So, what problems do you guys have with Tier 4?
Well, for starters,
From top to bottom.
yeah.
Well, I thought we were going. I thought he
All right.
went from Tier 4.
For starters, saying that Cody Kessler is worse than Brock Osweiler is an insult to Cody Kessler.
But then again, he's also the backup to Brock Osweiler right now.
It's the Cleveland Browns. Do you really think they make the greatest decisions with their depth charts, Cooper?
I guess he's the backup to Deshaun Kaiser now.
How many quarterbacks have they had in the last X amount of years?
Enough. 18.
Yeah.
18.
Do you wonder why they keep rotating?
I'm gonna say this:
They're not very good at picking starters.
the fact that Mike Glennon and Trevor Siemian are above Kaepernick is pathetic.
Kaepernick's twice the player Glennon is.
He's twice the player either of them will ever be. I don't care what you say. Paxton Lynch should not be up there either. Paxton Lynch should be the second bottom, only above Brock Osweiler.
Really up there.
Hmm?
I mean, I feel like Bortles should be next to Osweiler.
No, okay.
Me and Gabe had this conversation. Blake Bortles is the, what was it, fourth worst starting quarterback?
Yeah, he's one of the worst starting quarterbacks, but he's not the worst. He's in the upper half of Tier 4.
Yeah, at his best, he is like tier
Because, like I said, he gets yards.
Tier 3.
Like him or not, he gets yards.
At his best, he's in Tier 3, but that's when he's at his best. Usually, he's middle to upper Tier 4.
not.
I hate Blake Bortles. I think he's an awful quarterback. Always have. But
Well, shouldn't you like him then? Shouldn't you like him?
Yeah.
Plays for Jacksonville.
Yeah, I hope he kind of
That's a fair
stays
point.
their quarterback.
If I'm a Texans fan, I'd buy a Blake Bortles jersey, man. My favorite player.
I almost bought a Brock Osweiler jersey the other day for $10 just to burn it.
Okay, you want to move on to tier 3?
I don't know. Like, what other problems do you guys have here? Scott, do you have any problems here?
I don't really care.
I mean, I really don't care. It just kind of shows why Kaepernick should get a job. I mean, if he's... I mean, I know that's kind of an unpopular decision, but if he's ranked 28 and Tom Savage is 33, that kind of shows...
Yeah, but the Texans would never bring in Colin
Yeah,
Kaepernick.
I know. I'm just saying...
It's
as
more about the role that Savage is playing than what he's actually doing.
Am I the only one that has a problem with Brian Hoyer being below Paxton
Yes.
Lynch?
No, yeah, I agree. Hoyer's better.
Hoyer's the second best quarterback in Tier 4. I think he's better than Blake Bortles, and the only person that's better than him, I think, is Colin Kaepernick, and that's on a good day. I mean, Hoyer's not a bad quarterback. Yeah. Neither
He had that one awful playoff game,
Sounds really
and then he destroyed it in Chicago for, what, 2 weeks in a row? Like 400-plus passing yards back-to-back?
McCown's not that bad either. Luke McCown, yeah, he'd be down there, but Josh McCown's not god-awful.
Luke McCown does really good commercials, though.
I mean, the fact that the thing that disgusts me most is Paxton Lynch being so high in Tier 4. Paxton Lynch is terrible.
Fair.
I honestly think Paxton Lynch is one of, if not the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Can't disagree.
What's your personal vendetta against him?
I've never liked him. I've always thought he was overrated, even coming out of Memphis. He's just like Brock Osweiler. He's Osweiler 2.0.
Yeah,
Yet they drafted him anyways. He's 6'7", dude. He's too tall to play quarterback.
You can't get
I wouldn't say they don't deserve it. It's
maybe
just
6'5".
Paxton Lynch has the ability of Brock Osweiler.
No, Cooper, he's 6'7".
I know.
He's 6'7", 244.
Yeah.
I knew that.
In 2 games started last season, he went 1-1, 49 for 83, 59 completion percentage, 497 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick.
Last year, I forgot about that.
He was also sacked 9 times in those 2 weeks.
Yeah, look at his stats, and I know it's just preseason, but look what he's done this year. Even in the preseason and practice, he's been god-awful.
I think that quarterbacks above 6'5" can't play in the league.
It takes a special quarterback.
Which there has been one found. That's that.
Wouldn't height be an advantage?
It should be, but the 2 cases of 6-7 guys. Obviously, it's not.
Yeah. All right. So you guys want to move on to tier 3 now?
Yeah.
All right.
Go from the bottom of the list to the top.
You want me to go bottom? Okay. So Tyrod Taylor, Jay Cutler, Sam Bradford, Ryan Tannehill, Carson Wentz, Alex Smith, Andy Dalton, Jameis Winston, Mariota, Carson Palmer, Joe Flacco, Dak Prescott. The thing that jumps out to me here, Joe Flacco. Everyone says he's not elite. He's not elite. This is right where he belongs.
No, he belongs at 16, Gabe, because he is the most average quarterback in the NFL.
No, I'm saying he belongs in tier 3.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
But my biggest problem with this is Jameis Winston being in tier 3.
I agree. Tier 2.
Jameis Winston's a tier 2 quarterback, and so is Sam Bradford, frankly.
I can't get with that one, but
Okay, so you're going to tell me that Eli Manning and Russell Wilson, after the season they had last year, deserve tier 2 over Sam Bradford and Jameis Winston?
Wilson does, yeah.
no. If I'm moving up guys to tier 2, I'm moving up
Winston.
I'm moving up Winston, definitely.
Winston Prescott.
Winston and
Prescott.
either Mariota or Smith.
I would move up Alex Smith.
I wouldn't. Alex
The way
Smith,
Alex Smith plays
yeah,
is
he's a game manager.
I love me some Marcus Mariota.
Ryan Tannehill should not be ahead of Sam Bradford.
I think
Neither should
Flacco
Andy
be
Dalton.
closer to the bottom of this.
If you look at their careers, Tannehill should be ahead of Bradford, definitely.
Right now, I'd rather have Tyrod than I would Flacco. That's how I'm gonna look at
Well, Sting isn't Joe Flacco hurt?
Yeah, he's always in.
No, but if he was healthy, I still would rather.
I would take Jameis Winston and Mariota both over Dak Prescott, though. I would take a few of these guys over Prescott.
I'd take Palmer when he's at his best.
I mean, I respect Dak Prescott as a player. I think Dak Prescott's not in a bad spot.
No,
Here's my question. These rankings are obviously based on career. So why is Carson Palmer in tier 3?
because most of his career was spent being average to below average.
No, more.
That is not true.
You have obviously not followed Carson.
Dude, when I was like 10 years old, after my first year of fantasy, I had Carson Palmer, and he was a god.
No, he was. Good
I had a
at
Carson
Cincinnati.
Palmer jersey in elementary
There's
school.
this point.
No, you didn't. You had a Rex Grossman jersey.
This is an ongoing debate that we will not discuss.
You had a Rex
I
Grossman
wish
jersey.
I had a Rex Grossman in elementary school. I have a Rex Grossman now, thanks to Brady.
Let's see.
So
1,
if
2,
Eli Manning,
3,
Russell
4.
Wilson, and Cam Newton are going to be in tier 2, put Carson Palmer up there. Those guys all had awful seasons last year, but they're obviously
Palmer didn't.
Career. No,
Palmer had an awful year last year.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He threw for 4,200 yards, 26 touchdowns to 14 picks.
Carson
And think of his receivers.
Last year I thought Palmer was AIDS.
no, he wasn't that bad.
I know
His record was AIDS. I mean, he was 6-8-1, which is not good. But the year before, he went 13-3 at the age of 36.
No, he's good. I just don't know about tier 2.
He's
And okay,
guys in tier
name
2,
his receivers last season. Name his receivers.
John Brown,
Larry Fitzgerald.
The end.
Harry Fitzgerald. Yeah, missing out.
No, Fitz is a beast. But if I remember correctly, John Brown didn't do shit last season.
Michael Floyd.
Well, he wasn't on the team by the end of the season, so that says a lot.
I mean, most of these guys in tier 3 are
Yeah, John Brown had 500 yards last season.
Most of these guys in tier 3 are average, like the Tyrod Taylor, Jay Cutler, Sam Bradford, Tannehill, Wentz. He's unproven. Prescott was good. He's still a top of tier 3 quarterback. Jameis Winston should be tier 2, plain and simple. Mariota is on the brink. He just needs to stay healthy. Carson Palmer should definitely be in tier 2.
Who would you replace Carson Palmer
I
with?
really like the tier 2.
I'm not replacing anyone. I'm just saying you
My
throw Carson Palmer
problem.
in tier 2.
Well, here, no, I'll save that. I'll save tier 2 for the next.
You throw Carson Palmer in tier 2 because if you're looking at guys who are good over their career, like Eli Manning, Russell Wilson, and Cam Newton thus far, you have to throw in Carson Palmer.
Or does it say
If this is just based on last season, because Eli Manning, Cam Newton, and Russell Wilson are not tier 2 quarterbacks based on last season.
If this is based on last season, Andrew Luck would not be the 6th ranked quarterback.
Andrew Luck had a good season last year.
No,
Better than you think.
it's probably more recent since most of these guys are.
And he wouldn't be ahead of Derek Carr, I'll tell you that. So let's move on to tier 2. You guys ready? Okay. From the bottom up, Kirk Cousins, Cam Newton, Eli Manning, Russell Wilson, Matt Stafford, Phillip Rivers, Derek Carr, Andrew Luck.
I like Cousins.
Stafford's better than Luck. That's my main problem. Stafford and Carr both should be ahead of Luck.
I definitely agree
I
with you.
think Carr is 6th in mine, and then
I think Kirk Cousins is better than Cam Newton, Eli Manning, and Russell Wilson.
yeah, not
I agree.
I think he's better than Russell Wilson.
No, he's better than Russell. Russell Wilson did not have a good year last season,
Wilson's
Cooper.
inconsistent.
Well, I know, but
He doesn't show up for the first half of the season.
most of his career he's been really good.
Yeah. Okay. Then if we're talking over a career, Carson Palmer should be in there.
Yeah.
You asked for an indication that this is
only
based
player-
on their
yeah, but
year.
You're
Or
going to have
based
to
on their
replace some of these
career.
guys. This is the amount of the people that are going to be in tier 2. Who are you taking out?
Yeah, Russell Wilson had a 63 QBR last season, which was not good.
If we're taking out someone, are we basing it on career?
Yes.
If we're taking out someone, taking out Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck's a tier 3 quarterback. If you look at his career, he's been plagued by injury and he turns the ball over too much. He's inconsistent. I mean, it's up down, up down, up down with him. He's either really good or he's mediocre. So I'd put him a top tier 3 if we're talking over his career. Last season, he definitely deserves him to be in tier 2. But frankly, I would put Russell Wilson in tier 3 if we're talking about last season. Now, Phillip
if we're talking
Rivers.
about definitely another argument to say that they're talking about over careers. If they're talking just about last season, Prescott would probably be in tier 2 or tier 1.
He wouldn't be in tier 1.
After,
Hell no.
If you think he's in tier 1, you're fucking crazy.
if they're going based off how they would rank him after last season and not their careers.
Yeah, no, you're still crazy for putting him in tier 1. Look at the guys who are in tier 1. We'll talk about that in a
He had
minute.
a better season
I
than
would.
most of those guys.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
What?
Cooper's saying that Dak Prescott had a better season than most of the guys in tier 1 last year.
Big Ben, yeah. I would put Big Ben.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. We're talking about tier 2 right now. Kirk Cousins definitely deserves it. Cam Newton, I mean, most of this is like, it really depends on if you're talking over a career 1 year. If you're talking last year, these guys deserve it, except for Russell Wilson, probably. Over their career, Andrew Luck doesn't deserve tier 2.
I mean, this is just what the coaches and execs in the NFL wanted. Who said that they were?
Yeah, I mean, did they provide any criteria for this?
They did on the Instagram post.
What'd they say?
Just says ESPN's Mike Sando, whoever that is.
Keep in mind, though, okay, back to Big Ben. Last season, he missed 2 games of injury. And he still threw for 3,800 yards, 29 touchdowns to 13
Look
picks.
at that. Describes.
A tier 1 quarterback can carry his team each week. The team wins because of him. Would you say the Cowboys win because of Dak Prescott?
No. No, they won because of their offensive line.
Yeah.
A tier 2 quarterback can carry his team sometimes, but not as consistently. Can handle pure pass situations and doses or possesses other dimensions that are special enough to elevate him above tier 3. Has a hole or 2 in his game.
That sounds about right.
Tier 3 quarterback is a legitimate starter, but needs a heavier run game and or defense to win. A lower volume pass offense makes his job easier.
Okay.
That is exactly where I would put Dak Prescott.
That's exactly where I put Carson Palmer then. Criteria.
No,
In
not
criteria.
last season.
No.
Last season, yes. Over his career, absolutely not.
In the last
No,
season.
I couldn't name his Bengals running back.
No, I'm just saying. Was it's probably more recent history than just adding his Bengals in there. It's probably the last like 3 or 4 years.
Okay, well, before they had.
Well, okay. If you're looking at teams win because of him, why isn't Matthew Stafford in tier 1?
Or maybe they're looking at.
Yeah, Stafford should be in tier 1 if
Or
we're
if
going
they're
off that
looking at-
criteria.
By that criteria, Matthew Stafford.
Okay, let's mix in tier 1 to this. So Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady. The fact
I have no
that
problem with
Ben
that at all.
Roethlisberger above Drew Brees and Matt Ryan is pathetic.
Well, yeah, okay. I don't like the order of it, but I like who's in the tier 1.
I don't like Roethlisberger in tier
There's
1.
only 3 elite quarterbacks, so I don't. My tier 1 is elite quarterbacks. I don't care what they say.
What? There's only 3 elites? Are you calling Matt Ryan not elite?
There's only 3 that are true elite.
Who are your 3 true elites?
Brady, Rogers, Breeze.
You don't think Matt Ryan's elite?
Not at the standards of Brady's, Rogers, Breeze.
They're on a whole nother level.
I know.
They're freaks.
Ryan's close, but Ryan needs.
Ryan's
one-
elite.
Ryan
Ryan's an
needs-
elite quarterback.
Ryan
I don't
needs
care what
one
you
more
Ryan is absolutely an elite quarterback. He threw for 4,900 yards last season. The dude was a
It's like
beast.
his only good season
We're talking elite quarterbacks. I'm taking Tom Brady.
That
Aaron
was his
Rodgers,
only good season?
Matt Ryan, Derek Carr.
Cooper, he's thrown for 4,500 yards or more since 2012.
Philip Rivers isn't elite.
Philip Rivers is an elite quarterback.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No,
Philip Rivers. Yes, he is.
he's not elite.
Go look at Philip Rivers' stats. Name 5 targets he has. Name 5 running backs and
Keenan
receivers.
Allen, Danny Woodhead, Antonio.
No, he doesn't have to.
Oh, yeah, Danny Woodhead, that god.
His career or
No.
the season.
Talk last year.
Last year, Danny Woodhead played for them last year, didn't he?
No.
Let's see. That one.
And Keenan Allen missed the season with an injury, if I'm not mistaken.
Antonio
Yeah.
Gates is like
Antonio
400.
Gates is like 40.
I forget his name. He was the tight end.
oh, you forgot his name. Hunter.
Yeah, calling Philip Rivers not elite is stupid too. He's done for 4,250 yards in every season since 2012, where he had a down year. But before that, 4,009 yards, 4,200, 4,700, and 4,600 before his down season. Then since then, 4,400, 42, 47, and 43.
Philip Rivers is an elite quarterback.
I don't.
Yeah.
And I think Matt Stafford is too. I think Matt Stafford's underrated.
Matt Stafford is the most slept-on quarterback in the NFL.
If he wasn't on the Lions, he would be Super Bowl
See,
winning quarterback.
my problem is calling Ben Roethlisberger elite.
Big Ben's
Big Ben, what makes Big Ben elite is the ability for him to extend plays.
I can agree with that, but he has so many targets around him and all that. I don't know if Ben Roethlisberger on his own could do what a guy like Philip Rivers does. If you give Ben Roethlisberger Philip Rivers' team, I don't think he's very good. Or he's still good, but he's not as good as he is now. That's why I have a problem saying he's elite.
I think if you
Brady,
want-
Rodgers, and Breeze are on another level, but they're
Okay. So here, I'll add something on to that argument, Gabe. Ben Roethlisberger takes an elite team and leads them like a true leader, and I think that's what makes him elite. Is that he holds that together. They haven't had a truly bad team since the mid 2000s.
No, I agree. I agree with that. But he's never the last time he won a Super Bowl was 2009.
Let me look that
I
up.
think it was 09 when
I think it was 10.
2010 was it? 2010?
Yes, yeah.
2010. He won that game.
Oh no, it was 2009 against the Arizona Cardinals.
He
But it was
won
the 2009-2010 season.
His defense won him that game. You can say a fantastic Santonio Holmes catch, but
Great throw.
it was a great throw. But had it not been for
Keep
that
in mind,
defense,
Big Ben did lead that drive too.
he did.
That whole
I agree.
that whole march down the field was impressive. I've never seen a drive like that before.
AJ McCarron against LSU in 2013, 2012.
That's against college kids. That's against a Super Bowl caliber team.
I know. I'm just saying that was.
I was there. I watched it. It was great.
Ben Roethlisberger is a damn good quarterback. I just don't know if I could say he's elite.
I think if you want to put Philip Rivers as elite, you have to put Big Ben.
Philip Rivers is a better pure quarterback than Ben Roethlisberger will ever be.
My argument against Philip Rivers is that his stats don't calculate to wins.
But he's on the Chargers.
As your
That's
elite,
like,
He's got no team around him
if
though.
he's an elite
yeah, he
quarterback,
has no
he'd
team.
I mean,
Maybe
here's the thing. You can say that with Ben Roethlisberger. You can say Ben Roethlisberger's wins come because of the team around him as well. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger.
Well, if he had bad stats, then I could say, yeah, you're right. But
I mean, no,
they don't carry him to those wins. He certainly pulls his weight.
Look up Landry Jones's record as the starter on that team.
You know, he's
Landry,
Because I'm pretty sure Landry Jones has won some games too, and Landry Jones is not good.
he won one against the Browns last season. So
What about other games? Because I know he's come in as the backup before.
okay, he is 2-2 as a starter.
Who was the quarterback? Who was the backup quarterback before Landry Jones for the Steelers?
Mike Vick played last year. Or the year.
Yeah, Mike Vick played a game.
I think
There was
Or
someone.
I think he played 2. I think Mike Vick played 2 games before he got hurt.
There was someone else. Someone I'm thinking of over the last few years played backup for the Steelers.
I couldn't tell you.
It's been Landry since 2013.
It's been Landry since Big Ben's injury problem.
Yeah, I don't know. I can definitely see. I wouldn't have a problem with someone saying he's elite, but I wouldn't have a problem with someone saying he's not elite. You know, I think he's on
Okay,
the brink.
you're thinking Charlie Batch in 2012.
Yeah.
Man, my problem
Charlie
is
Batch, Byron Leftwich, and Dennis Dixon.
But see, I think Ben Roethlisberger is on the brink. I don't think he's tier 1. I think he's a tier 2 quarterback. I honestly think you take Phillip Rivers and move him up to tier 1 because I think Phillip Rivers he's as good a quarterback as some of those guys. He just doesn't have a team around him.
Yeah, he's just as good as Big Ben.
He's better than Big Ben. Phillip Rivers is better than Big Ben. Yes, he is.
Almost identical.
No, he's better than Big Ben.
I think
he's a better quarterback than Big Ben. Big Ben just has more weapons around him, and that's why his team wins. You give Phillip Rivers some weapons, his team wins.
Yeah, he had weapons once before. Yeah, and guess what? They moved on because he just wasn't getting the job done as a quarterback.
Who were his weapons?
Antonio Gates for the longest part of his career was.
Yeah, Antonio Gates for the best part of his career.
He had LT for a while, like, not too long, but
not too long.
No, he did in the mid 2000s. He had LT,
which is when the Chargers were godlike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was more on the basis of LT being a god and not as much as Phillip Rivers.
Well, you can't look at Phillip Rivers and say his stats are bad and they're not elite. Phillip Rivers is an elite quarterback.
No, you can't look at Big Ben's stats and say
I'm going to assume, what year did LT retire? Was it 2008?
I think it was 8.
2008.
So in 2006 and 7, he threw for 3,300 and 3,100 yards. He was definitely carried by LT.
So
In that 2007 season,
what was his touchdown to interception ratio and what was the team's record?
in those seasons, 22 touchdowns to 9 picks in 2000, and then 21 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. His QBR in those 2 seasons was 69.7 and 57.5, and he went a combined 25-7.
Yeah, I mean, so he had teams around him. He had a team around him, and the team was good. He didn't have to be great. He has to be great now in order to even try and win games for his team.
The thing is,
I mean, I wouldn't call him great now, though. Last season he had 21 picks.
He's not being great. That's the issue here.
Phillip Rivers is a great quarterback.
He hasn't been great in like 1 or 2 years.
His QBR over the last 3 seasons, 68.6, 61.4, and 64.5. None of those are good numbers.
He hasn't been good since when they last made the playoffs, 2013.
He's okay. He's still good.
He's been above average. He's been good. He hasn't been great. He hasn't been this elite quarterback.
He doesn't have a team around him. That's why.
In those same years, Big Ben hasn't been great and hasn't
Okay.
been elite.
Tanner, what are Matt Stafford's numbers from last year?
Matt Stafford.
When Matt Stafford had no offense around him.
When Matt Stafford had no offense around him last season, he threw for 4,300 yards. He had a 65% completion percentage, 24 touchdowns to 10 picks.
Golden Tate's not a bad player.
Golden Tate's not exactly a huge weapon.
Yeah,
He is in Matthew Stafford's hands.
he's the number one target.
Yeah.
He was the number one target in Seattle. He's been the number one target most of his career.
He's in the back half of his career, though.
Golden Tate? Yeah. Now they basically got no one.
Yeah, okay. He's thrown for at least 4,000 yards every season since 2011. He threw for 5,038 yards.
Definitely deserve to be in tier 1 in my eyes. And I think Big Ben's a higher tier 2.
I don't see how you can say Big Ben is worse than Phillip Rivers. Big Ben is more consistent over his career. Phillip Rivers has been inconsistent.
I think Phillip Rivers is a better quarterback than Big Ben. Big Ben just had more weapons around him.
Look at
the weapons. Okay, look at the weapons Phillip Rivers has right now compared to Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger is the best running back and receiver in the NFL.
Absolutely nothing until Big Ben started throwing to him.
You can't tell me that Antonio Brown's not a good receiver without Big Ben.
He was nothing before.
Antonio Brown's the best receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, he's the best receiver in the NFL. He's not a product of his quarterback.
He was almost
not a product of his quarterback.
I think Big Ben's strong arms certainly helps, but I mean, you can send him to Kansas City and he'd still have a 1,000-yard season with a Nerf gun arm, Alex Smith.
Look at Mike Wallace.
What about him?
How would you rate him as a wide receiver?
He's a really good receiver.
Is he?
He's old. He's really
last season he caught for 1,000 yards, but seasons before that, when he was in Miami, he had 930 yards and then 862 in the following season. He played all 16 games. In Minnesota, he started in 12. He had 400 yards, which is terrible. And then last season, when he played in all 16, he had 1,000 yards. But his best 2 seasons were with Big Ben.
And Big Ben makes receivers. He's a. How long?
He doesn't make receivers. He
Well,
just
yeah,
makes
no.
good plays and allows receivers to
So
make
long
plays.
since
He helps his receivers a lot with the ability to dump off a pass 40 yards in the air and dump it right in their
No,
hands.
I'm
However,
not saying Ben Roethlisberger's not a good quarterback at all. Ben Roethlisberger's a great quarterback,
But why can't
but I don't know if he's tier 1.
he? If you're wanting to say Philip Rivers is tier 1, you have to put Big Ben there. Philip Rivers is tier 2.
No, because I think if you give Philip Rivers the weapons that Ben Roethlisberger had, the receivers, we'll say, you give him the receivers that Big Ben has, give him Antonio Brown. Philip Rivers will throw for 5,000 yards, guaranteed.
Okay, if you give Antonio Brown to Tom Brady, he's a god. It's not. You give it Tom Brady. If you give Antonio Brown to almost anyone, they'll be better than they were.
you're using the wrong comparisons here, Cooper, because you just compared Philip Rivers to Tom Brady, and that's just autistic.
No,
If you're going to compare Philip Rivers to someone, I would compare Philip Rivers to budget Drew Brees.
Philip Rivers just doesn't know how to win, and that's just.
No, he just doesn't have a team around him.
To be elite.
That being said, his defenses have not been that good in his
He
career.
has a terrible offensive line.
Also,
His defense is awful. His receiving core is depleted. He has no running back other than last year. Melvin Gordon.
I don't know why. What's your vendetta against Melvin Gordon? He's bad.
He's been inconsistent over his few years in the
800
NFL.
yards his first year.
He just,
1,000 the next, or 800 the next as well.
I just think he's inconsistent.
How's he inconsistent? He was consistently 800 yards 2 years in a row.
That's
consistency. That's not inconsistency.
That's inconsistency because he had like 300 more yards a year.
No, he had almost exactly the same, I believe.
I'm looking it up.
Okay, but still, that's a running back. That's not a receiver.
Well, okay, yeah, you can't tell me quarterbacks play better when their running backs are good.
No, I'm just saying this. Philip Rivers has no defense. He has
Okay,
no
Melvin
receivers.
Gordon has played in 2 seasons. Through 13 games in his rookie year, he ran for 641 yards, no touchdowns. He was booty. He was cheekies. However, and he only averaged 3.5 yards per attempt. Last season, he ran for 3 yards shy of 1,000 yards, and he only played 11 games. Mind you, he only started in 11 games,
Very good.
and he had 10. And he had 10 touchdowns.
Very good, but he was mediocre in his first year.
add
That's
into-
that's
okay.
inconsistency.
So if you want to look at inconsistent, okay, say this is right after Le'Veon Bell's second year. I think he's a really bad running back because he's been inconsistent in his career.
I'm not saying Melvin Gordon's a really bad running back. I'm just not going to say he's great like everyone else is right
No,
now.
but everyone was ready to say Le'Veon Bell is great.
Le'Veon Bell is a great running back. He's
After his
proven
second
it.
year, everyone was ready to say he was great, and that was his first year being good.
Okay, Melvin Gordon was awful in his first year in the
So
NFL.
was Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell is almost straight A's in his first year.
Okay. But Le'Veon Bell has since proven that he's a great running back.
And Le'Veon, you haven't given Melvin Gordon the time to prove it.
That's true. That was only Melvin Gordon's second season, and through 11 games, he was
I know,
3 yards
but
shy of 1,000,
All I'm saying,
which is
Melvin
that's
Gordon
just
could be
stupid
great.
good.
Melvin Gordon could be great, but you take the differences between his first and second season, he's inconsistent. In his 2 seasons, he's been inconsistent.
If you go back in time and say this right after the second year of Le'Veon Bell,
I never said anything about Le'Veon Bell's
but
first and second year.
this
We've
is the
had
same argument
time.
that you'd be having because Le'Veon Bell would be coming off his first good year after being booty the first year.
Okay, then I would say the same thing I'm saying for Melvin Gordon. Don't call him great because you don't have time to analyze him yet.
But back in
So everyone's quick to jump say after last year that Melvin Gordon's great.
you were
Give
right
it
that-
time.
But I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty
The
sure.
perfect example of that, Gabe, would be Todd Gurley.
Yeah, Todd Gurley's been inconsistent as well.
Yeah.
Everyone was
He
quick to say
lit
Todd
it.
Gurley.
He lit it up in his first. Well, okay. I won't use the word inconsistency until a player's played for 3 or 4 years.
Well, all I'm saying is throughout his 2 seasons he's been inconsistent. So I need to see more to tell the type of running back he is. Just like Todd Gurley. I'm not ready to
Because
say Todd Gurley's
okay,
a bad running back.
I think you're using the wrong word. It's development. It's not inconsistency.
Because a lot of times
I don't know if you can say that about Todd Gurley though.
I think most of the
Well, no. I'm referring to Melvin Gordon and Le'Veon Bell for both of you. Because Melvin Gordon certainly developed quite a bit between one season, and as did Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is you need more time to analyze these guys before you jump to conclusions about them being good. So
Another thing I forgot to mention was that Melvin Gordon had 419 receiving yards last season.
No,
He had
was very good.
1,400 from scrimmage.
Very good last year. But so he has a good running back, we'll say. Is Melvin Gordon good?
yes,
We'll say he's good. We'll agree on that. He's not great. He's not bad. He's good. He's a good running back. So the Chargers, even when you analyze them as a whole, you have a depleted receiving core, a terrible offensive line, and a terrible defense.
Okay.
How are you going to win with that? Tell me a team that has a terrible defense, a terrible offensive line, a mediocre receiver, a good running back, and a great quarterback that knows how to win.
The Seattle Seahawks.
Seattle Seahawks have a really good defense. They don't have a bad defense, Tanner.
Last season,
They were still really good last year. If you find me a team, perfect. Okay, fine. Perfect example: the New Orleans Saints.
I want to. Before
Back
we move
to
on,
back to
I
the
wanna,
Drew Brees.
I want to finish the talk about. I had something to add. Okay. So, how many games? So they won 4 games last year, right?
Okay.
How many of those games would you honestly say were because of Philip Rivers?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to look more. I'd have to analyze the Chargers' schedule and all that. I mean,
They won, but I'm looking at it now, pulling it up. Okay, so they won 4 games. The 4 games they won. Oh my God! Stop. My phone's being cheekies.
okay. While you find that, I'm gonna say this: the perfect example is the New Orleans Saints. Scott, when was the last time the Saints made the playoffs? 2013.
About that, yeah.
2013.
I believe, 2013, they beat the Eagles in the wild card
They
round.
beat the Eagles
Yeah.
on the last second field goal.
They were good that year, David.
They were good
They
that
had
year.
an average defense. That's
See,
all they
yes. See, now the Saints have no defense, a mediocre offensive line, a depleted receiving core, a good running back, and a great quarterback. They win just about as much as the Chargers if you're looking over the last few years.
No.
Saints win a little more, but you also
Yeah.
have a slightly better team. You had a slightly better receiving core in New Orleans than you do in San Francisco or San Diego or LA now, I guess. Would you guys agree? I mean,
Eh.
so Philip Rivers knows how to win when he has a team. He just has no team. The
The
Chargers are
difference
one of the
is-
biggest train wrecks in the NFL.
Philip Rivers, he's just so inconsistent. That's my problem. Drew Brees is consistently the same great.
No, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers, like you said earlier, are on another level. They are the best quarterbacks in the NFL. There's no question about it. But if you're going to compare any team to the Chargers, it's got to be the Saints.
I guess, but then I just can't. The thing is, the reason tying back to that is
You could use the Lions, too. The Lions wouldn't be a terrible comparison.
Because the Lions,
If they get a running game, they'd be a good team. That's the only. That's the only.
the Lions defense isn't god awful.
It's their running game, but still, the reason why I said Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Aaron Rodgers are elite. They're on a different level, but you can't put guys on a different level on the same level.
Well, elite. I mean,
Elite puts them on the same level.
No. If you're putting an elite, because you could tier an elite. You can have like the god elites and the guys that are still they're better than great, but they're not
Okay.
quite gods.
So here's I'm not gonna say Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Drew Brees are elite. I'm gonna say they're all-time greats. So they're on another
you can
level.
Say that,
But if you're tiering them into 4 tiers with the criteria that this list has,
Tier 4 is not necessarily the elites, though. That's not really
I'll say this: every all-time great is elite. Not every elite is an all-time great.
I agree. No, I completely agree. That's why I think if you're putting it into 4 tiers, then you have to say that Philip Rivers and Matt Stafford should be in tier 1.
Maybe it's more about how I look at it.
Because Matthew Stafford is an elite quarterback.
So is Philip Rivers.
I look at the elites more.
And as Cooper disagreed with earlier, Matt Ryan.
Yeah, Matt Ryan is definitely
No.
on that.
Okay,
Tier
so
1.
how I rank it is my elites are Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, as I've stated. Then you have the great players on the cusp of being elite, like on the same tier as Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady. That's Matt Ryan. That's almost everyone else we've named. Probably not Philip Rivers, but that's about it. I have Matt Ryan is basically there. He just needs. I need one more year like he had last year to show.
Here's my question to you. What is the reason that the Lions win games?
Oh, it's Matt Stafford because they don't really have anything else.
Exactly. A tier 1 quarterback on this list, I get what you're saying with your list, but on this list, a tier 1 quarterback can carry his team each week The team wins because of him.
Yeah.
That is perfectly, and he expertly handles pure pass situations. That screams Matt Stafford.
Okay.
And Phillip Rivers.
And soon to be Derek Carr. Derek Carr is on that level.
Yeah.
He's
Derek Carr's on the cusp. I think one more season at the caliber that he was, and yes, you put him as
I
elite.
agree.
I think
Right now, he is the rising star, or the risen star of the NFL.
problem is there's just that I think elite is too openly used because they're Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady. They're on such a different level.
It's
that I
like
don't wanna
superstar in the NBA.
Yeah,
I see what you're
superstar.
saying.
It's just so loosely used that you might call this guy a superstar, but he's not the superstar. He's not. These guys won't be able to take your team from being 4-6 to 10-6 at the end of the season.
No, I get what you're saying.
That's
Okay,
Aaron
so
Rodgers did.
so basically, correct me if I'm wrong. This is what you're saying. Tier 1 is too broad to put all of these guys in. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Drew Brees should put on a mythical tier 0. You should say
Basically.
they're higher than everyone else.
My elite is basically they're gods and they won't be stopped.
But here's the thing: you don't always have an all-time great quarterback in the NFL. You won't always do it.
No.
So
that's what
what
I'm
do you?
saying.
So are you not going to have any
I guess
quarterbacks in
maybe-
tier 1 when you don't
maybe
have all-time
Maybe
greats?
I can rank that they're the all-time greats, and then there's the elites. But my problem is there's just the term elite is so loosely used in the NFL, like superstars in the NBA or other sports. Just it's so blatantly obvious that the real top 3 quarterbacks in the league are Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady.
Oh, I completely agree. But if you're dumbing the criteria down to 4 tiers like this,
Oh yeah,
you have to put those guys
they're
all in the same
tier,
category.
But if you're doing a 5 tier, those guys that we've named are in tier 4, and then there's or tier 2, and then there's tier 1 with.
I agree. No, I agree. But if you're doing a 4 tier, dumbing it down this much, then those guys are all in the same category.
Being honest, the 3 guys I keep naming, I'm not going to say the name again because that's just redundant. Just they're on a whole different tier. That's why I'm not comfortable putting these other guys on the same tier as them. It just doesn't sound right because they're not.
Okay. No, I
they're
get
not
what you're
at the
saying.
same
Okay.
level at all.
Okay. But if you're talking about those 3 guys, I would put Matt Ryan in there.
Matt Ryan's close. I just need him to have one more great season like he's had.
Okay.
He's been good. I just need him to do it one more
Why?
time.
No, he's saying to put him in the Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees
needs to
elite
be-
conversation.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because he's thrown for 4,500 yards for 5 years straight.
No,
Like, what more do you want the
I
man
get
to
what he's
do?
saying. I would
But
definitely put Drew
He's
Brees
definitely
or
had
Matt Ryan in tier 1 now.
interception problems. So most of his use in those 4,500 yards.
All right, is there anything else that anyone wants to add on the?
One more thing. The reason why, my tier, basically, if their team has a winning record, 9-7 or above, or 8-8, even making the playoffs, those players are my MVP finalists. That's how I put it. So, like any year that Rodgers and Tom Brady are in the playoffs, which Tom Brady
Every year.
So, or maybe not for Rodgers is every year, but I guess he has been every year. But still, anytime those guys are in they're MVP candidates. This year, Matt Ryan, MVP candidate. If he can put it up there again and be in the top 5 for voting in MVP again, I can put it with him. I can get with him. And last year was his first year actually having a really good touchdown to interception ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Most of his career, he's thrown double digits. He's only thrown in 2 of his career years, he's only thrown less than double digits of interceptions.
Okay, double digits of interceptions is expected, and it's only the true all-time greats who can accomplish single digits, I think. And Matt Ryan, I agree with perfectly what you're saying. If Matt Ryan can do that for one more year, he is on that level.
I just think 2 years.
Yeah, he's on a 38-7 ratio last season, which is just stupid.
He was stupid last year, but I'm not. It's just like last year, some people were ready to throw Cam Newton in a tier 1 just because he had a really great MVP caliber season. Now you'll get him, they bump him back down to tier 2 or tier 3.
Yeah, I'd put Cam Newton in tier 2 or 3. No, I
I just
agree
need
with
another
what
year
you're saying.
of what he's done
Okay,
last year, and if his team could get back to the playoffs at that level that he was playing, then I'm
I
good.
agree.
So, that all you got, Tanner?
Yeah, that's all I got on that. All in all, that list is absolutely terrible.
I agree. It's awful. So many flaws.
Now, jumping back down to the bottom of the list, Blake Bortles. And and the recent drama behind him losing his job. And I want to make a quick, and it's just so crazy that Chad Henne's about to get another chance in the NFL. I don't know if you have anything to add. I will say he is for sure, without the injury prone, he is RG3. He is RG3 if RG3 wasn't injury prone. RG3 is a better quarterback than Blake Bortles ever was.
I agree.
And that's without the injuries in RG3's career, he would be better than Blake Bortles.
Mm-hmm.
The injuries ruined RG3. Blake Bortles ruined Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles, I mean, I've been saying it ever since he came out of UCF. He came out of UCF, and I get, Scott and I were talking about it earlier, the big quarterbacks come out of small schools, but I didn't like what I saw from Blake Bortles overall. I knew there was something in the back of my mind that told me he's not going to be good, and
He looked
he's not.
good though, and that was just.
I was a big fan of Blake Bortles when he first entered the league. He looked like, oh shit, here's Blake Bortles, and then I mean, to say it in a nice way, he Bortled his career up.
Really, if you just look at the stats in total, most of his stats that look godly was because his team was already losing because of mistakes he made prior in the game. Even in his second year when he was at his peak, you could still see that most of his stats and most of the reason why he was such a good fantasy quarterback came after his team was already down like 21-0 or 28-0. He definitely had it there. He just needed to lower the interceptions. And I guess having a different offensive coordinator every year of his career is not helping. But give him a good offensive coordinator, say Kyle Shanahan, what Kyle Shanahan has done to other quarterbacks. If he just gave his touch to Blake Bortles, which could happen if he so happens to be cut after this season, which the 49ers aren't happy with their current positions. I just think a good quarterbacks coach could really put a touch on him that would put him back where he needs to be.
Blake Bortles?
I think Blake Bortles just needs a little confidence. I really think if Blake Bortles had a little swag in his pocket, he'd be okay.
I don't know. I think he's got the same accuracy issues as Brock Osweiler. He's better than Brock Osweiler, but he has accuracy
That's
issues.
confidence, though.
Dude, he threw an interception off a shoe last year.
Yeah.
His first 5 passes in pads this year were interceptions.
Yeah, he just there's something.
I get what you're saying with confidence,
I'm just
but
saying,
confidence can only take you so far.
the right coach,
It's just accuracy.
the right coach in a quarterback's career really changes how you feel.
I know, I agree. I mean, that's why Jay Cutler has a job right now.
Matt Stafford and Jim Bob Cooter.
I agree, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying. That's why Jay Cutler has a job right now with Adam Gase. But
That's the reason
I think Blake Bortles is damaged beyond repair at this point. I don't think he's ever going to start another NFL game again unless Chad Henne gets
he'd
hurt.
have to be a backup. That's about all he can do. And
I agree.
I think Brandon Allen gets another shot before Blake Bortles does, if I'm being honest.
I mean, Brandon
And
Allen's
honestly,
not bad.
Colin Kaepernick just sitting right there. You can win 7 games if you just add Kaepernick to that roster. They're not a bad team. They're very talented. Good running back. Good wide receiver.
I think that's a playoff team if you add Colin
If you
Kaepernick.
add Kaepernick, they have a chance of winning
What,
the
the Jaguars right now?
Yes, they're 9-7.
Oh yeah, definitely. That roster is good enough to be something special.
They just need a good quarterback playing or average quarterback playing, and Leonard Fournette could probably carry them, and their defense could carry them. Their defense is really talented on paper. We haven't seen anything yet. They just really need someone like Kaepernick or Blake Bortles to improve, and then they'd be set.
Speaking of Leonard Fournette,
Where are we going?
we're going to talk about the freak athletes.
Yeah. Also, before we move on, other news in quarterbacks. Brock Osweiler basically losing his job, and Deshaun Kaiser will probably start week 1 in the NFL season.
Well, I think anyone with a brain saw that coming from like 16 miles away.
The thing is, the Browns aren't fighting for
Cody
anything.
Kessler.
Actually, anyone with a brain saw that from 72 million miles away.
I get it.
37 million to be exact, but because he's not getting at this rate, he's not getting 72 million in his contract.
Didn't he only have 2 years on his contract?
He had to get 2 years, 37 mil.
Guaranteed.
All the other 2 were basically you're done. Yeah, moving on. As Brock Osweiler is the opposite of freak athlete. Well, he's a freak, as in being a giraffe, but he's not an athlete.
So to put context to this discussion, we were talking about the most freak athletes in football, and I think Leonard Fournette is up there with the best of
started
them.
that with a discussion about the Jaguars, and we got into this. And we're like, is how many athletes are which athletes in an NFL level you started off? How many of those athletes are purely more athletic than
Leonard Fournette.
And
I think very few, if any.
we can do this in the NFL, and we can move on to the NBA with another player.
Yeah, I mean, we can. I mean, James Harrison.
We don't necessarily have
James
to talk
Harrison
about,
is the only one that we've come up with definitively that I can say is a more freak
I
athlete
don't
than
know.
Leonard
You're the
Fournette.
only one that's against some of these other. James Harrison.
James Harrison has defied the years, and said, "Give a big old f you to Father Time," and has continued to play.
Basketball. Tim Duncan.
James Harrison's not really declined throughout his career. I mean, he's
If you're going to use that analogy, I'd say Dirk Nowitzki. I wouldn't say
But Dirk.
Tim Duncan, because didn't Tim Duncan not even start in his final season for the playoffs?
Yeah, he came off the bench.
Yeah, but then Dirk's probably not going to start this year, and he hasn't started in a few years.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so who are other freak athletes in the NFL that you guys think about?
We said J.J. Watt.
We offered J.J. Watt. Jadeveon Clowney is another one that we talked about for extensive periods of time.
I think I would put I forget Gronk. We had Gronk.
I don't know if I agree with Gronk.
Gronk was pretty different.
I can't definitively say Gronk.
Gronk is obviously athletic, but I don't know if he's more athletic than.
I think Gronk is more powerful, but that's just because of his size and his ability.
I can get behind Jadeveon Clowney. I've thought about it, and I can get behind it.
I mean, you could get behind Watt because they're almost identical players, other than some other power issues and stuff. And really, we talked about the Honey Badger himself, Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah.
I just don't see him like I've seen him lay the boom a couple times, but I don't think he's as consistently powerful as Leonard Fournette.
We're distinguishing between versatile and freak athlete.
It's really hard.
It is. No, there is a very thin line between. I think Tyrann Mathieu is just more versatile. I don't think he's a better athlete than Leonard Fournette.
I guess, and then it kind of comes down to a lot of tight ends really are more athletic, and that's just because they're built. More linebackers are up. Jamie Collins is a very athletic player. He's up there too.
Let's face it, everyone playing professional sports is athletic.
Yeah.
But we're referring to just a freak athlete you could put him on a track field and the 200-some-odd-pound running back could still hold his own.
Leonard Fournette, 240 pounds, just about. He would hold his own in a track meet.
The dictionary.com definition of athletic, because was physically active and strong, good at athletic or sports, of or relating to athletes, involving the use of physical skills, capabilities such as strength, agility, and stamina.
I mean, I can get down with it. It's the thing that Fournette's obviously very athletic. And I don't really want to get back to him to try and debate who's more athletic than Fournette. More if we're just saying who's the most athletic. Jamie Collins is up there. I don't know. I've seen watching him play in his career. He's always been a freak to watch. And we're not really naming a lot of offensive linemen. We could, because there's some freaks of nature on the offensive line that just
Y'all are missing one.
Who?
Julio Jones.
I wouldn't say Julio Jones is more of a freak athlete than Leonard Fournette.
Julio Jones will go up over you and catch it, but I don't think he'll go through you and catch it.
He's 220 pounds, runs a 4.39 40,
220 as a wide receiver is pretty insane.
and runs and has a almost 40-inch vertical jump. That's insane.
I don't think he's as powerful as some of these other guys, though. I mean, you have to have it all. You have to have speed, power,
finesse.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned Jimmy Graham in his prime.
I don't know.
In his prime with New Orleans, he was a beast, and he could.
Because Jimmy Graham could haul ass. I'll give him. Jimmy Graham could book.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a problem saying Julio. I don't know if he's a more freak athlete than Leonard Fournette.
Mentioned Megatron in his.
No, I don't think so.
Megatron was a beast, and he would run you over. He would destroy.
I don't know, dude. It's
If you wanna go back
really just up to opinion.
If you want to go back in time, Randy Moss even.
Yeah. Okay.
He
Well,
got moused.
we're comparing.
Yeah.
At this point, we're comparing all-time greats to guys that haven't
Most of the all-time
seen
greats are.
regular season NFL action.
And I think that's kind of basically for the NFL. It's just there's just a lot, and most of the time it's mainly defensive players, some running back, some wide receivers that we might not know enough. And offensive linemen, we don't know the names really. They're athletic, but we couldn't tell you either way. Like they'll maul you and destroy you no matter what size you are. Like Joe Thomas, he can throw that finesse on you and completely destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why he's been to 10 straight Pro Bowls now.
Yeah.
You want to move on to the NBA? NBA one?
I think we should make our NFL predictions first.
We can go throw in our NFL predictions where we look at some prime athletes and.
So we've outlined the AFC and NFC North, East, and South.
Before we get into this, I want to ask Scott this because Scott wasn't there. Scott,
What's up?
I say that Bo Jackson is the most freakish and most talented athlete of all time. Do you agree?
I agree. Yeah.
I think we're unanimous here.
Though I thought Gabe was trying to argue it last night.
No. You said he's the greatest athlete ever, and I don't know if I can definitively say that he's up there. I don't know.
Oh no, no. Okay, that's what I meant to say. He is the greatest athlete of all time.
See, I don't know if he's the greatest athlete. He's the most freakish, hands down.
Without looking definitively at every sport ever to be played, I can't definitively say either way, but he's definitely the all-time the greatest athlete.
I mean, Bruce Jenner's up there. Because hate him / her or not, Bruce Jenner was the single greatest Olympian to ever walk on the face of the planet that didn't focus on one sport alone. Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps, you put him up there too.
I don't know.
Michael Phelps is stupid good.
Is Michael off topic here? But is Michael Phelps the greatest athlete in all of the USA? Like out of everything, is he better at what he does than anyone else in their jobs in the MLB, NFL, and NBA?
I mean, he did race a shark once.
No.
I don't know.
He didn't really race a shark. It was timed. It was lame. I watched it.
See, I don't know if I can say this. Say yes because he competed against the world, but if you put guys like Tom Brady, see, Tom Brady would beat the rest of the world when it comes to football, but the rest of the world doesn't play football.
No, I guess, but
in the NFL. So I don't know. I mean,
anytime Michael Phelps shows up to a race, you know you're about to get your ass kicked.
I think there's too many gray areas when you say greatest athlete of all time or in the U.S. There's just like saying Bo Jackson is the greatest athlete ever. I really don't know because we just don't have enough information on every athlete ever.
Yeah, I guess. I see what you mean. In recent time, Bo Jackson is the greatest.
That's saying Bo Jackson is the most athletic human being to ever walk the earth.
Essentially.
And I can't definitively say yes or no.
He is.
But the reason I could say it is that the downfall of Bo Jackson was because Bo Jackson was too powerful.
Yeah. I think in NBA, NFL, and MLB, I think is the one
I mean, anyone who can be a two-sport Hall of Famer, I mean, in anything. You can be a soccer and tennis star. I don't care. If you can do two sports that are so different and be so great at it, how are you not the greatest?
I mean, he literally said
he's the most freakish
the NFL
athlete.
as a hobby.
Yeah, he's the most freakish athlete of all time.
Football is a hobby. Football is a hobby.
I would hands down say he's the greatest athlete of all time.
I agree.
It's just without looking at the other sports.
But I mean, if you're looking at like his size, if you're gonna I won't do statistics because that is an unfair statistic. Y'all are right. But if you're gonna look at like the Bo Jackson, just the stature of him, he was fucking huge.
He's the most freak athlete of all time, I would say, hands down. But my problem is saying he's the greatest ever. That's because, like I said, it's comparing him to every human being to ever grace the earth, and I can't definitively say that because I don't know enough. I'm ignorant on the subject. Everyone is.
I'm gonna Google. Okay, you guys are talking about the NFL. I'll pitch in last. Greatest athletes of all time.
Okay. So let's talk about the AFC West. Starting from the bottom up, who do you guys have as your number 4?
My number 4 for the AFC West. Gotta go Honestly, the Broncos. Got no run game, got no quarterback. What are you gonna do on offense?
I'm gonna say the Chargers.
Chargers.
It's close. I don't know.
It is close. The bottom two is close.
I
And
think the
so
offense of the Chargers.
we all have
Yep.
Broncos.
Chargers, Raiders, those two terrible.
So we have Broncos at 3. If you don't have
Broncos
them
at
at 4.
The
3.
Chargers actually have a pretty good roster going into this year.
I'm going bold. Chiefs at 3.
Chiefs at 3.
Ooh.
Who'd you say your 4 was?
The Chargers.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
I
at 2,
really
Chiefs at
like
2.
that Denver defense, man. I am infatuated.
Tell you what, man.
I'll tell you what, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man.
I'm gonna have Kansas City at number 2.
Same.
I think they just Alex Smith is not good enough to beat. Well, hold on.
Did last year. But,
No. I'm gonna disagree.
but then again, the only reason why
I'm gonna disagree with myself. I'm gonna turn back on that. I'm gonna say the Raiders are second in the AFC West.
No, but the
Okay.
won the division last
Oh, okay. You want to get crazy? Let's get crazy. I like it.
The Raiders' defense isn't good enough.
That's
They
debatable.
have the potential. They just haven't shown it.
If you've looked at them, I mean, I know it's not a big indication, but preseason, the Raiders' defense looks like crap.
Yeah, but that could be either.
You also have to factor in that the Raiders' offense got better with the addition of Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, I agree. The Raiders' offense is going to be freakish, but I think when you look at the Chiefs, when you compare them to the Chiefs' offense is better than the Raiders' defense.
But I don't know if the Chiefs' offense.
Ooh,
I think
the Chiefs' offense is just
Raiders'
cheeks,
offense
dude.
is better than the Chiefs' defense.
The Chiefs' offense isn't bad.
No, but I'm saying the Raiders' offense is better.
The Raiders'
than
offense
Chiefs'
is really
defense.
good.
It's better than the Chiefs' defense.
I don't know, dude. The Chiefs have a really good defense.
Depends.
When they're all healthy, they have one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Yeah, I just can't say. I think the Raiders.
Oh, wow. Okay, back to the freakish athlete thing. I'm sorry to interrupt. Bleacher Report put Jim Thorpe as number 1, and at first you're going to scoff. Jim Thorpe won the gold in the decathlon and pentathlon at the 1912 Olympics. He hit 252 as a major league outfielder. And, dare we forget, he won the 1912 Intercollegiate Ballroom Dancing Championship.
Alrighty. So I think that just definitively says
Not
that
to
Bo
mention
Jackson is
Hall of
the most
Famer.
freakish. He's the most freakish athlete, but he is not the greatest, I would say. Or if he's in the conversation, but you can't
I
definitively
think in
say
the
he
sports
is.
that we find important, he's the greatest.
I agree. No, I agree with Cooper on this. Yeah. So, okay, so you guys have, for your top 2, other than Tanner, Chiefs, and then Raiders.
Yeah, Tanner would. I think.
I have Raiders Broncos.
Yeah.
Broncos
1 and 2. 1 and 2. No. I'm sorry. Raiders number 1, Broncos at number 2.
Yeah. Okay. I got
Scott, do you have Chiefs at 2 and
Chiefs 2, Raiders 1.
Raiders 1? Okay.
So Raiders won unanimously here, except for Gabe.
Yeah, except for me. I'm going to say Raiders 2.
All right, NFC West.
NFC West, I think, let's start at number 4. Who you guys got?
49ers, easy.
I got the Rams.
I think the Rams at 4 too.
Yep, the Rams.
I got 49ers.
Now, I'm not going to say because of Goff, because I still haven't gotten enough sample size from Goff to really make a judgment on him.
It could take you 2 years before.
Right.
Stuff.
Right.
Or lose.
I want Gurley to bounce back because I really like Todd Gurley, but Lord knows.
If Todd Gurley-
And then with that, I mean, Sammy Watkins is going to be big to that offense. So I mean, I can interchangeably put the Rams and 49ers at 4 and 3. I think it'll be close, like a 1-game
I
difference.
think there's a
I disagree. I disagree. I think it's going to be a 1 or 2 game between the 3 and 4.
I'm talking between the bottom 2 and the top 2.
I think 49ers
Oh, yeah,
are the top
definitely.
team. They are the-
Definitely.
they are the Rams. They're a good team. That on they're actually
Stop.
they look
Who? The Rams?
No, he's talking about the 49ers. The 49ers are a good team.
They made a good
Okay, well, hang on. I don't know anyone on the 49ers besides Hoyer, so let me look at their roster really quick.
49ers aren't good.
They're not good.
They're still among the NFL's worst teams, but I think they'll be better than the
They
Rams.
won 6 to 7 games this year.
I don't know about that.
Their schedule's easy.
All right.
Hey,
Let's
with
see.
an easy
Play-
schedule, let's look up their schedule. So, who do you guys have at 2?
I got the Seahawks.
You have the Seahawks at 2.
With the Cardinals back
Yeah,
to
me
full
too.
strength this year, they'll be back to where they were the prior year.
Hmm. I wouldn't
Honestly,
know. I
okay,
wouldn't
back to
say
the
that
Niners.
the Niners schedule's easy.
Looking at their roster, they're not trash.
No, they're not trash, but here's their schedule just through to December 17th. Opener against the Panthers, at the Seahawks, versus the Rams, at the Cardinals, at the Colts, at the Redskins, versus the Cowboys, at the Eagles, versus the Cardinals, versus the Giants, versus the
Yeah,
Seahawks,
they have a tough schedule.
at the
Okay.
Bears, at the Texans, versus the Titans.
And the last two are probably division. One's a division game, and the other one's I don't know.
Yeah, so no, I think
They're still. I think it win 5 games out of that. Still, they could beat the Rams twice. I don't know. They could probably beat the Redskins.
okay. So at number 2, I have
I'm not very.
I have the
crazy.
Cardinals.
I'm not crazy about the Seahawks team. They just don't have it.
I'm not crazy about them either, but
They might win.
Seahawks at 2.
Nick's got jokes in our fantasy league.
What?
Sorry to interrupt, but Nick just offered me Martavis Bryant, Mike Glennon, and Deshaun Watson for Jameis Winston, T.Y. Hilton, and Rob Gronkowski.
Take it.
Okay, just that was just
You just accept it.
just had to say that. No, I didn't accept it. Shut up.
You should
Okay.
accept and then vetoed it with your commissioner power.
Ooh, I should have done that. You're right, but the league would have gotten mad at me.
No, because we were half the league or a third of the league.
Yeah, the third. I wouldn't have given a shit.
They wouldn't know because you wouldn't accept that. Most of us would have vetoed it.
Yeah. Alrighty, so what's next? Here we're going NBA.
We'll hop right into the NBA. Talk about some of the great athletes in the NBA if we want. Or you just want to go straight to.
Let's just go straight to the news. Let's get
Let's get right. Yeah, I want to fucking die.
Well, there's not much NBA, but we got some banana boat and some Kyrie to the Celtics and Isaiah Thomas to the Cavs.
First off, let me just say, Boston, you are a bunch of fake fans if you're burning Isaiah Thomas' jersey.
Yeah.
Boston fans have always been terrible. Everyone knows that.
You have no reason to burn Isaiah Thomas' jersey. Even if he would have left, you still have no reason to disrespect a man who dropped 50 and won a playoff game on the day after his sister died. That's just my 2 cents. Okay.
If that's not giving all, I don't know what is.
Yep. And if you give your all for a city, you should not be ridiculed for it. Okay.
Well, unless you're
Kyrie
LeBron
to
and
the
you do the
Celtics-
decision.
Kyrie to the Celtics is good. Kyrie gets what
It's a
he
win.
wanted. It is a win for both teams.
And it's assurance for if LeBron leaves
Yeah, I agree.
that they can get. Wait, Angela.
Stop.
I don't know this draft class yet, so I don't think Zion's ready yet.
No, he's not. He's not even in college yet.
No, next year, right?
It works out for both teams because Kyrie was going to leave anyway for Cleveland, so you got a guy who averaged 29 almost points a game last year. You get a first-round pick. You get Jay Crowder, who's a good bench player for Cleveland.
Yeah, he'd be better off the bench.
Yeah, he would be. I agree. If he doesn't, I don't know.
No, because
He'll come off the bench for Cleveland.
that would just be better. Tristan Thompson already meshes well. With
Yeah,
the
I agree.
starters.
So I think it doesn't hurt the Cavs at all, and I think it doesn't necessarily hurt the Celtics because Isaiah is about to get paid, and I don't think the Celtics really wanted to pay him all that much.
Yeah. And now Kyrie's locked up for at least an extra year
Yep.
or so, which
And
That's
Kyrie,
a really-
everyone's happy after this
that's
trade.
a really good lineup.
Everyone's happy, but I still think that the Celtics lost the trade.
I see what you mean. I see where you're coming from, but they had so many picks to give.
Now, I'm not saying last night I was pissed because I said it's a terrible deal. Who would do that? I looked at it again this morning when I cooled down a little bit. It really wasn't all that bad of a deal. I just think the Celtics had a good thing going, and they tried to fix a problem that wasn't broken.
I agree.
Now, that being said, if fixing a broken problem means getting Kyrie Irving, then it's still not broken. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I think Kyrie Irving is a better player than Isaiah Thomas.
I have a personal beef with Kyrie now. due to that whole attitude thing with I don't want to be in the shadow of LeBron. When statistically he shot more shots than LeBron per game, and he's more remembered in that game seven of the finals for his shot, and that he carried LeBron through. Well, not carried, but certainly put him on his shoulders per se in games five and six.
Okay, 5 and 6. I see what you're saying, but okay, carry on.
Because if you remember correctly, he was on a whole different level.
He was.
Dude, Kyrie was he was a one man war machine. He didn't need LeBron to win those games. Hypothetically speaking,
Okay.
No. In his head,
Yeah.
I was I don't need him. Fuck that. This is my team, and he certainly showed it.
Yeah, and we'll see if he can do that in Boston.
So then he did that, and then all of a sudden he wants out. I mean, that just rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand if you don't want to play second fiddle to a player like Gordon Hayward. Okay, that makes sense. But when you're on a team with LeBron James, it comes with the territory, and you got to suck it up and quit being a crybaby bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the Celtics' new lineup, though. They got Kyrie at the 1, Jaylen Brown at the 2, Gordon Hayward at the 3, Marcus Morris at the 4, and Al Horford at the 5. Power forward's really only weak. This is the weakest spot.
Anyone else have anything to add on?
It's not that bad. They both win. They'll both be 1 and 2 in the playoffs. Figure that how you want, and they'll both lose. Either one that goes in the finals will lose.
Well,
unless somehow they got.
Staying on the topic of things we like, Lindsey Vonn.
Let's get right into the nudes.
That was perfect. Okay.
I've been waiting for like 50 minutes to say.
All right, so what we're going to do, for those who don't know, Lindsey Vonn, former girlfriend of Tiger Woods, her phone was hacked, and she had naked pictures of herself put online, along with Tiger's, but I'm speaking for myself here. I'm not going to do this with Tiger's. We are going to make snarky comments, basically, and talk about...
We're going to try and be mature about this. We're going to do photo critiques of each and every photo.
We are going to talk about Lindsey Vonn's scandalous.
Now, for anyone questioning the legality of this, we're all 18. So.
Also, you want to look at the legality of it. We don't own the pictures. They're not downloaded.
Yeah, we don't.
Well, hey, for all the audience knows, we're making it all up.
They don't exist.
They can't prove that I'm looking at it on my phone right now. No one can prove that.
We also cannot confirm that they are Lindsey Vonn, because they're threatening to sue enough people already. I don't want them coming after us, even though they never would.
They would have to listen. That means we get one more listener.
Hey, hit me up if you're listening, Lindsey Vonn. I would like to give you some tips on not keeping 2-year-old nudes of Tiger Woods on your phone.
Get over it.
That is all. Okay, so without further ado, let us talk about Lindsey Vonn.
I'm not comfortable with this on second thought. This is going to be weird, but I'm ready. Yeah.
Let's all make one comment on each picture. Okay? My first comment.
Pictures, Gabe.
39. Let's do it quickly. No. We'll do it quickly. No.
Dude, we're already like an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, we'll do it quickly.
Let's do this. Let's go right through. Everyone gets one comment.
Nice teddy bear.
Yeah.
Damn it, that was what I was going to say.
See, I'm more interested in the bun that she's wearing. I'm a big fan of the girl bun. I dig it. I think it's an underappreciated hairdo of women.
I agree.
The earrings look nice.
Is she wearing earrings? I was looking at the jewelry somewhere else.
She has nice piercings, I would say.
Scott?
Y'all hit it on the head. I'm done.
Okay. So Scott is. The next one. I really like your manicure.
I'm not a fan of the nail polish. I think it's too dark.
Yeah, it's not the best.
I believe it complements the light hue of her skin well, but not a fan.
Yeah. Could be a little lighter.
Third one. Get a new phone camera. It's
Third one.
Blurry.
I mean, you're already going for it. You may as well not wear the boots, you know?
But those are some nice Uggs.
The fourth one.
And then keep in mind that bench is really dirty. You got to clean that up. It is.
The fourth one, you probably look confused because you're not very good at taking pictures of yourself.
Well, I could
For the record, the fourth one's not like nude at all. She's wearing a cashmere sweater. It's quite lovely, actually.
quite lovely.
Matches her eyes. Very nice.
The fifth one,
Yeah, like
Tiger
Stanford.
Woods has got a nice dad look.
I haven't seen Tiger Woods look that happy since before he got caught cheating.
That was like 2 years ago. Right after he got caught. Before
The
the
next one, why is she yelling at that machine? It looks like she's yelling.
Is she holding anything? Is she lifting at all, or is she just like?
That. No, you're right. But it looks like she's yelling at the machine at first glance.
She's got gains.
She had surgery on her right arm. You can see the scar running down the side.
She's rehabbing very well right there.
The next one, she kind of looks like Hope Solo. I see a Hope Solo in that picture.
Supposed to look less violent. Like a soft Hope Solo, not a "ow, stop it, you're hurting me" Hope. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
That's why I stuck it in.
Well,
before
she needs a red eye reducer.
Ah, yes, you can do that. Where is she? That's my question.
Probably like EA.
That looks like she's mocapping.
Yeah, she's motion capturing, but for what game?
I don't know.
Probably some
Okay, side question: if EA released an Olympics game, would you be interested in it?
Yes.
Maybe
Yeah.
she's mocapping for Mario versus Sonic in the Winter Olympics.
Okay, the next one. I like you. I like your off-centered rule of thirds in this one. That's a photography technique that Lindsey Vonn is showing us. She might have gotten a little better as time went on.
She's so
I like the tiling on the kitchen counter.
That looks like a shower, actually. But
No,
If you scroll on the
as
next,
confirmed in the next picture, it is.
yeah, the next picture, you can tell that it's definitely a kitchen. Yeah.
Close your cabinets.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
Andrew
okay, hang
Lenz.
on. Wait, who takes that kind of picture in their kitchen?
I don't know.
okay.
I mean,
y'all
I guess
missing
it's something you can eat, but
What are we missing, Scott?
I like how the chair color coordinates with the cabinet.
It's very nice.
lovely interior decorating. I will give that. That's a lovely chestnut
It's an
finish.
interesting tile. I don't know if I like it.
Very nice.
The next one, it's blurry once again, and I can't tell what color the sheets are, yellow or white.
Wow.
I think
See, I respect the enthusiasm because that means that she's grabbing it in a, I'm not gonna say violent way, but like
She has
in
a
a
good grip on
let's
life.
get it way.
Okay. The next one,
That's a nice curtain. Might not go well with the room, but you know, it's all right.
It's an awkward angle she's getting at. She's so slanted.
G.
Well, dude, like, it looks like she's got scoliosis. Wow, she's like bent like that.
It's like
Still
she
blurry.
lost a foot on
Fine,
one.
fine. I'll say
Now,
it's
I
still
will
blurry.
say, tasteful side boob.
That's PG.
Why is her flap uneven? I'll say that one. The next one, I don't. The next one, she looks like she's going to space.
Well, okay, that's probably her ski outfit 'cause it looks very aerodynamic.
The one after that,
I can tell she's into leather.
Yeah, like
the next one, she looks like a Hope Solo Amy Schumer cross.
She looks like a mom. That looks like a mom's Facebook profile picture.
Yeah,
looks
oh,
like
I
she just
definitely
dropped
agree.
Tiger's kids off it.
That is such a Tina Zant Facebook profile picture. Holy crap.
The next one, her hair. If
Awful
you look at her
lighting.
hair, it almost makes a heart that like a really
She has good flow.
vertical heart that closes in her by her pillows.
It's a good flow. The next one. Make,
Look at
up,
that.
She's got.
make your bed up. Clean the room.
Dude, her GoPro's not even plugged in. Like, how can you expect to go like film stuff with this? Like,
Neither is her Mac. Her Mac isn't plugged in
She
either.
likes
I am digging the shoes. Back right, middle right.
Oh,
I see
yeah.
what you mean.
I wear this out.
It's just she's really messy. Like, what is that on the bed? Is that another laptop?
Yeah, that's a laptop. Looks like.
Or is that a
It looks
notepad?
like a book.
That's too big
It
to
looks
be
like
a
a
book.
notepad.
A journal,
It's like
maybe?
a notepad.
A notepad or a journal? All right,
She
next
likes
one.
food and gum.
Next one.
Probably some.
If you're gonna include some of it, include it all.
Oh, it's more of a continuation of the last one. So I want to take it again.
Not particularly.
She has nice muscle definition. Clearly an athlete.
Yeah. All right. The one after is she. Hey, it looks like she made up her bed on this one, or she's holding a pillow against a wall.
Elliot, you can tell that the sheets are white now.
I don't know if it's the sheets of the wall though.
It's white, whatever it is.
Yeah. The next
Dimples
one,
above the buttocks. Underrated.
Okay, I have a problem with the next one because the colors are just they're all too warm. You need some cool colors to balance it out. Like those fingernails.
Well, that's the thing about those kind of pictures, though, Gabe, is that you don't want a dark, cold feeling like it's like this is something bad, you know?
You also don't want to have the problem that she has where you have a hard time distinguishing where her body ends and the wall starts.
That is, yeah.
The next one looks like it was taken on an android.
Yeah.
Or a potato. Well, it's the same thing. Why? I mean, she's wearing a watch and those boots are back again.
Boots.
I like the nail polish in that one, though. It's like reddish pink. Lovely.
Seductive.
Yeah.
Can we just skip the next one because there's nothing?
Yeah, let's just skip that one. Let's skip the other one.
Okay, we're skipping to red dress.
Yeah, skip to red dress.
She's good at shaving, we'll give her that.
Yeah, doesn't get a lot of cuts.
Red dress, she
looks up.
she's in a hotel. I'll tell you that.
She's a bad resting bitch face.
See, I think that's like a half smile, you know, like a soft smile.
Yeah, it's like.
I think it's like
It's like mom made me take this picture.
I think she just walked out and she's in the middle of like jumping back, like, why are you attacking me and taking a picture of me?
It's like she's going to like homecoming or prom and the mom's making her take a picture. She's like, "Mom, please."
Okay, is the next one? I think that's another one that we've already seen.
Yeah, it looks like a repeat.
It looks like the same one.
The next one does too.
Yeah.
There we go.
Go into the mirror back selfie.
That is a model pose. Mad respect.
That is such a weird pose and place to take a picture.
The watch still looks good. The boots look good still.
She needs to organize.
What is there's like cabinets?
Where?
They're like shelves.
They're like I don't know what room she's in.
Probably like in front of her house, like where you put like
Maybe.
You want to skip the next two?
No, the next one her nail polish is chipped.
Nail polish.
It also matches.
Good color.
Ah, it does. You're right. And then the next one, that's another continuation.
The other one, the boots are still.
See, I've received some in that pose. That's my personal favorite.
The next one, she looks like a. Okay, going back to homecoming, Cooper. This is a homecoming pose. Just imagine a dress on her, and that is a homecoming girl pose.
I don't know if I want to imagine a dress on it. Next one, the watch is still looking clean.
What is the point of this next one?
Why even have the watch on?
Why put your hand on your stomach like that? And my problem with the color. This one's still the same, chip nail polish. This one.
Why an iPad?
On an iPad.
Is that an iPad?
It's like an iPad mini.
Clean your room.
Although she does have water on the counter, which means that she's well hydrated.
She's in the bathroom. It looks like
the lighting's good in that one.
It is good. That is very good lighting, and that is actually a really clear picture. So what we learned today is taking pictures.
Oh, look at that walk-in shower.
Walk-in showers are nice.
The shower looks clean. That watch still looks good.
I after like 4 pictures, I really want to know what that red thing is in the back.
That's her suit. The leather one.
You're right. I think you're right.
Boots still looking good.
She's showing off her new shoes in this one.
Yeah.
I'm digging those boots actually now.
Yeah, they look.
Those look like Marty McFly. They look like Marty McFly's Nikes, but not like blue.
She looks like an hourglass in the next picture. Her figure. That's a good figure to have.
She still has a grip on her left.
That is another preferred of mine.
The next one is that homecoming pose. She looks also confused in the gold dress.
She's still trying on dresses.
She looks much more happy in the gold dress. Like, yeah, I could rock this.
Yes to the dress.
Always.
It looks like she put it on backwards because it looks like the zipper is right there in the front.
The next two are the same.
Well, in her defense, her and Tiger had an evening plan, so you may as well just eliminate one step.
As well. I think we're done after that one.
Have we seen the last one?
All right, all in all, final grades.
I would give it.
Are we talking? Okay, if we're grading just the
all the comments we made, I think it's a B. Her camera work needs a lot of work. That really bumps it down.
I'm gonna give it a B minus.
I think a B works for me.
I'm giving it a B
gonna break it
minus.
up into subcategories. I think body definitely an A plus. Pose and her poses need a little work, but I'd give them a B. But then her photography work, I'd give it a D. So overall, I'd agree with Tanner about a B minus.
Yeah, if I had to give her a number grade, that's an 80. That's 83 quality.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick before we end this thing, McGregor Mayweather predictions.
My phone, my computer's.
Okay,
So
Scott
I
can't
can't-
hear you anymore, Tanner, but it's okay. Just make a McGregor Mayweather prediction.
Scott is dumb and likes to sniff poo poo.
Um,
Probably not.
I'm gonna say Mayweather in 7 rounds. I think he'll knock McGregor out in the 7th.
I think McGregor ends up getting disqualified because he's gonna get his ass beat. Then he's just gonna like take.
Dude, okay. I don't know if you read this tweet, but it was like, if I'm McGregor about to take a fat L, I am roundhouse kicking him right to the temple and dropping him for the greatest DQ of all time.
That would make him look like such a badass and keep his tone going into this next UFC fight. If he completely roundhouse kicks Mayweather, he's completely knocked the hell out and still loses the fight.
Here's my question to you guys. Would you step in the ring with Floyd Mayweather for 12 rounds for $30 million?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, for how much money?
$30 million.
I would like to get my ass kicked for 30.
I'd do it for $5 million.
I would do it for like 500,000.
I'd probably do it for $1 million if we're being honest.
The number's not that high for me.
Yeah, I agree. I'd get my ass beat by Floyd Mayweather.
I would just pull Mayweather. I would just hug him every time he'd get me. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, no, okay.
And I could probably land a few shots on Mayweather. I am like 5 inches taller than him, so I got reach on him.
And, well, there was another fight this week, but we went on and get into that one. And that's all we got. I'm Cooper.
I can't say anything. My computer's dead.
No, well, we can still hear you. Yeah.
I'm Scott.
I'm Gabe. You can follow me on Twitter at GabeHJournal.
And I'm disappointed in this app we use to communicate because they all sounded like robots.
Your ladies man 217.
I am Sam Witwicky. I am Tanner Coble. You can follow me on Twitter at TJ Coble.
Well, I'm Cooper. I think I already said that, but you can follow me at Cooper S3 at OT Pedestal, off the pedestal on Facebook, all the fun stuff, and that's all I got.
You know what? Thank you guys so much for letting me join the podcast today on location. It's been real, guys.
That just sums up this podcast with how that happened. And we'll see you next time.